Welcome to the video series of Beginner's Algorithm. This is the second video of the video series. Today we'll be discussing about the divide and conquer algorithms. So, the divide and conquer strategy is one way to solve a problem. Like suppose if you are given a bigger problem, what you do, you break the problems into some smaller problems, which we call as sub problems, which are themselves some smaller instances of the same type of problem. And then what you do, you recursively try to solve these problems. Uh, you take those sub problems, again you divide it into further smaller problems, and you continue until you hit some base case where you can directly compute the answer. And then when you get the answers for the smaller sub problems, then you appropriately combine them and get the answer for the original problem which we have. And the sub problems which we are dealing with, they are exactly the same type of problem as the original problem. So we generally have something called recurrence relation. So suppose you have a problem and the problem has a size n. So what you do, suppose you divide it into some a sub problems of size nb. So you have a number of sub problems of size n by b. So and when you get the answers to all the sub problems which you're creating, then the combining takes suppose order n to the power d time. So the running time will be clearly Tn, which is equal to a times Tn by b plus order n to the power d. So you have a number of subproblems and each of them will take Tn by b times, because time is dependent on the problem size. So if your problem size has problem size is of size n, then your time is Tn. So by that logic, if your smaller problems have the size n by b, so each of them will take time Tn by b. And since you have a number of those sub problems, it will take a Tn by b. And for combining the answers of the smaller sub problem and getting the answer of the actual problem, it takes some time of order n to the power d. So this is in the recursive relation of time. So this is a very famous theorem called Master theorem, which is used to solve these type of recurrence relation. So if you have a greater than 0, b greater than 1 and d greater than or equal to 0, then for this type of recurrence relation we have this particular solution. So if d was greater than log a to base b, then Tn is actually order n to the power d. If d is exactly equal to log a to the base b, then the time is order n to the power d log n. And if d is less than log a to the base b, then we have time n to the power log a to the base b. So this is famous theorem, and if you want to look for the proof, you can search this theorem in the internet. You will get the proof for it, and it's actually quite easy to prove. Either you can substitute this in this and then check it, or you can deduce it. So let's look at the problem in our hand. So it's the matrix multiplication. So as you know, if you're given two n cross n matrices, say x and y, then your job is to calculate the third matrix z, which has z which is product of x and y. So and we know like how the matrix multiplication takes place. So this is the ij term. So what we basically do, like we use this simple procedure. So for calculating the term 1 comma 1, means the first element like in the first row and the first column, what we do, we take this row and this column, and we like we multiply a11 with b11, a12 with b21, and so on, and then we add it. So if we can see clearly, if this was n elements and this was n elements, then to calculate just one position of z, like one term of z, we are doing some n number of computations roughly. So for calculating each element or each entry of z, we are taking order n time, and since there are n square entries, we will be taking order n cube. And this is the way in which most of us, even during some of the maths exams, we calculate the product in this fashion. And for many years, the mathematicians have wondered whether this was the best possible way. Whether this was the best possible way or not. Like whether order n cube is the best we can do or not. So there came a mathematician whose name was Strassen. So this guy Strassen, who came up with a very good idea of divide and conquer, which reduced the time complexity. Like it improved upon this order n cube. So what was his idea? First, for the sake of simplicity, let's assume n is a power of 2. We can appropriately handle if n is not a power of 2, but for the sake of explanation, let me take n is a power of 2. So what you can do, suppose if the matrix is of the form n cross n, we can divide it into 4 equal parts, and each of the smaller parts can be a matrix, or we can use a term called block, which is of size n by 2 cross n by 2. So here a11, a12, a21, a22, this form a 2 cross 2 block, and similarly we can divide this into 4 blocks. So x can be divided into 4 blocks a, b, c, d. Y can be also divided into 4 blocks e, f, g, h. So it's quite easy to observe that xy is a, b, c, d into e, f, g, h, and if you multiply it, it's quite easy to observe y will get ae plus bg, like ae plus bg, and then af plus bh, and so on. Like you just normally multiply the matrices as you do. And so basically what we are doing, we are taking a bigger instance, say n cross n, and then we are dividing into smaller instances. Like here, all we need to do is find the product of n by 2 cross n by 2 matrices. So basically, we have divided our actual problem into smaller 8 problems. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what it's written here. So if we compute these products, these 8 products, which are of smaller size when compared to the original problem, then we are done, because after that we can just do order n square additions, because each this A matrix has n square by 4 terms, so adding 2 matrices of order n square takes order n square time. It's quite easy to check. And we again take the smaller matrices and again divide it into further smaller matrices in this particular way, and we continue it until we reach n is equal to 1, where we directly multiply 2 matrices. Like if we have A is equal to A1 and B is equal to B1, then AB is equal to A1 B1. So I hope you get the crux, like how we are dividing our original problem into some smaller problem as depicted here. And then after, when we get the answers to the smaller problems, we appropriately again combine it to get the answer of the original problem. So here if we get the answers for AE, BG, AF, BH, CE, DJ, CF and DH, then we can appropriately add these terms and get the answer for the original product XY. So you can see the time Tn is equal to 8 times Tn by 2 plus order n square. By Tn by 2 because original size was n cross n and now the size is n by 2. So the size, you can say, uh, in one dimension it has decreased by 2. So if our time is dependent on n, then for the smaller problems it will be dependent on n by 2. So it's Tn by 2, and since we have 8 such problems, it will be 8 Tn square, 8 Tn by 2 plus order n square, because we have order n square times addition. So if you solve this using Marshall theorem, you are again going to land up with n cube. So like it's nothing better than this multiplication which we are doing, like taking row wise multiplication, like taking one row and one column and then multiplying with each other. So Strassen came up with a very unique and tricky decomposition, and like many wonder how did he come up with such decomposition. So what he did, he came up with these 7 terms. So you can see each of the matrices is n by 2. So this is an n by 2 cross n by 2, and this is an n by 2 cross n by 2. So this is a smaller version of the original problem, and same goes for the 7 products. So we are only calculating 7 products, not 8. And using these 7 products, he managed to calculate xy in this fashion. And just I want to remind you, don't get confused by size. Like if time t depends on n for the original problem, because its dimension is n cross n. So for calculating product of two matrices whose sizes are n cross n, if we denote it by Tn, then if we are calculating product of matrices whose size is n by 2 cross n by 2, then it's logical to depict it by Tn by 2. So this is just an extra clarification. So coming back to this, so Strassen managed to compute xy using just 7 n by 2 cross n by 2 subproblems, and these are the subproblems which he calculated. So we have a new recursive equation where Tn is 7 times Tn by 2 plus order n square. Earlier we had 8, but now we have just 7. So by Master's theorem, we have n to the power log 7 to the base 2, which is approximately n to the power 2.81, which is actually a very significant improvement compared to n cube, because when we just code in our laptop, those are just small equations like 3 cos 3, 4 cos 4. It doesn't matter whether you use n cube algorithm or n to the power 2.81. But the real life applications, they go up to millions of data. So you can't, so n to the power 2.81 when compared to n cube here, it makes a huge difference. So that's why whenever we try to design an algorithm, we always try to look how to like sort of make it better. And sometimes it requires some mathematical like genius to come up with this type of stuff. Otherwise you are just going to end up with something trivial. So for something non-trivial, at the end of the day you have to take help of maths. Thank you.